Subscribe for more. On Wednesday night, I'm standing still in the living room of my sister while the smell of champagne fills the air. I have big eyes and a full mind as I try to figure out what I just heard. What person did the house get given to? Jesse. The room seems to be turning around me, as if I were its center. I can't move or talk. As soon as I let go of the champagne glass, I drop it. I noticed that time moved more slowly as I watched it fall to the hardwood floor below. The sound of crystals breaking makes a sound that is as sharp and piercing as a knife, breaking the quiet. The bubbles that used to tickle my nose are now all over the floor, looking like secrets that have been dropped. A lot like the future I thought I was going to have, the liquid spreads out in a shimmering way. It was supposed to be my fresh start and a time of peace. Now, though, it's all going away, it's all gone in one impossible line. Jessica is standing across from me, her hand resting protectively on her baby bump, which I can barely see. She looks very proud in her eyes. She doesn't need to say a single word. He stands next to her and nods, making it look like he is part of this strange plan. My parents are standing close to the wall and looking up at the sky. It looks like they can't stand to look at me. They act like they have nothing to do with this and are innocent. For now, though, I can sense it. I can see how their eyes are moving all the time and the small, subtle nods they give each other. All of them are participating, whether they want to be or not. I'm the one who looked like a fool in the middle of the storm because I'm the last one to know. It's hard to hide the happiness in Jessica's voice as she says, "Mom and Dad have officially transferred the house to me." She says it with pride, as if she had just been given a trophy for her amazing achievement. But the truth is that she is taking everything away from me. That house is now mine because I worked very hard to get it. I worked hard for that down payment and every dollar that helped make it possible. In order to make ends meet, I worked long hours and missed family meals, holidays, and birthdays. As a nurse, I give my all to my job. While I was saving lives in the intensive care unit, ICU, I thought I was building a future for myself. But everything falls apart in an instant. The things Jessica just said are hard for me to understand, and I can feel my hands shaking. The words don't make sense. Did they move you? What do you mean when you say transferred? While speaking, my voice shakes and I can't stop it. My mind is racing with ideas. What could have caused them to treat me well like this? How do they get to the point where they can take away everything in this way? It's so quiet when I ask the question that I can hardly hear it, and I have trouble recognizing my own voice when I talk. But Jessica doesn't hesitate in her answer. The sound of her laughing can be heard all over the room. It is harsh and bitter. That was simply a momentary situation. This is just a game to her, she replies, waving her hand dismissively, as if the paperwork were of no importance. My heart feels like it is sinking, and my world is turning on its side. My parents appear to be strangers, especially because they are standing there with guilty looks on their faces and refusing to speak. What is the reason for them to be so nonchalant about this? What might have motivated them to treat me in this manner? I am unable of moving despite the fact that my blood is boiling. It feels as though my body has been completely immobilized. The champagne that I was holding a few seconds ago is now leaving a stain on the hardwood floor, as if it were making fun of me. I paid for this house, so I own it. It was my possession. I put money aside specifically for it. I initialed the documents. I made sacrifices that I will never be able to recover from. And yet, I find myself standing in the living room of my own home, which no longer feels like it belongs to me. As Jessica's words hit home, the room gets quieter and quieter. My legs are weak, and I fight the urge to fall to the floor. This can't be real, it must be a terrible nightmare. I'm trying to find my voice again, but the words that come out of my mouth feel like they are being choked. On the other hand, this house is mine. I paid for it. How are they going to do this? My voice shakes when I say, I signed the papers. Why do they just take everything I've worked so hard for and give it to someone else? I don't understand how they can let Jessica do this and take away my future. I try to keep my hands from shaking by holding them tightly. It looks like Jessica is announcing a win because she is still standing there with her palm still on her stomach. Her whole face is showing how proud she is, and I can't stand it at all. When I try to speak, my voice gets choked up. My mind is racing with ideas. That is not possible for this to be happening. This doesn't really exist. My dad moves forward. Whenever he wants to settle things, he always looks like this. The way he smiles at me makes me feel like I don't make a scene. His voice is low, cool, and cold. Now, Emily, let's not make a fuss. When one family needs help, they help another family. As I stare at him and the others, I can't believe it. They've all been pretending to be my friends, while Jessica is the one benefiting from all my hard work. It's not fair at all. That's not right. I know my eyes are watering, but I'm determined not to let them. I won't let them see me break down. I won't let them see me cry. Instead of doing anything else, I take a deep breath and try to focus on the fact that my energy hasn't gone down. I haven't lost myself yet, even though it's possible I have lost the house. Not yet. Jessica, who is still holding her hand over her stomach, looks at me like she has won. She doesn't even seem to feel bad about what she did, so why would she want to do that? She has won. She has taken away everything I have worked for and earned. My future and goals are no longer possible. It's not just the house, it's the years of giving up things and giving my heart to this family, only to have it all taken away from me. I feel like I'm about to lose it. They want me to give up and let them take everything without a fight. I look at my mother, who is busy rearranging the contents of her wine glass as if she doesn't see the chaos going on around her. Her eyes dart around uncomfortably, and I can tell she isn't happy with what's happening, but she doesn't say anything. She doesn't try to stop it, and she doesn't do anything to defend me. She is involved. I push the thought out of my mind, but my heart hurts. I can't let them see me fall apart. Not now. Not until I figure out what to do. The room goes silent, and the weight of the moment fills the air. My thoughts are racing, I can't stop them. Why are they so cold? How are they going to do this? I'm holding back tears, and I can feel my chest getting tighter. The house, the mortgage, the dreams, all of that is gone today. Taken without permission. I have no control over this at all. I want to yell and throw something, anything, but I can't. I'm standing there with my hands in a fist, and the champagne keeps running across the floor, reminding me of everything I've lost. If I want to leave this place, I need to leave now. I want to leave this house and this neighborhood so badly before I do something I will later regret. I start to run toward the hallway, but then I hear my mother's voice, which stops me. "Let's raise a glass to Jessica's fresh start," she says, her voice strained and loud, as if this were a celebration of a happy event. This is not a happy event, everything I have done and fought for is now over. However, they are enjoying it as if they have won a big battle. I feel like I can't stay here any longer. I can't handle this anymore. I push my way past them, aware of how heavy their looks are on the back of my body. My cousin Sarah is the only person I can trust, so I quickly pull out my phone and text her, "I think something is wrong. Help is needed." The response is quick. The words "see you tomorrow." Bring any paperwork that you have, give me hope, and for the first time in what seems like forever, I don't feel completely alone. This isn't over yet, but it will be soon. I will get back control of my home and do everything I can to protect it. However, as I sneak away into the hallway, I find myself continuously returning to the same thought in my mind: how could they do this to me? What could have caused my family to betray me in this way? How is it possible that they gave what is rightfully mine to Jessica of all people? The feeling of the burden of everything weighing down on me accompanies me as I walk into the corridor. My home, my haven, seems different now, in a manner that it has never seemed before. It feels empty. The walls that were once filled with the sound of laughter and the floors that I have walked on so many times now feel like they are in a strange place. It is as if I am no longer wanted or part of the life that I fought so hard to create. The air is filled with the acrid stench of double dealing, and it is difficult for me to breathe. I take a look at the screen of my phone when I feel it vibrating in my hand. My cousin Sarah is the one individual who has never disappointed me in my life. See you tomorrow. She writes, bring any paperwork you have. Even though her word is short, it makes me want to keep going. It's not possible for me to stay here while my world falls apart. Not after taking away everything I've worked for. As I run through the house, the floorboards creak under my feet. It sounds like the floor is trying to remind me of everything I left behind. My eyes automatically go to the mortgage papers when I look down at the papers on the mantel. These papers should have been the cause of my success. Now they laugh at me. While I get my bag and walk toward the door, I try to block out the sounds of my parents, who are still having a party in the living room. They don't know that as they laugh, a storm is building up inside me. These people think that this is over, that they won, that they got what they wanted, and that I will just accept it. They are wrong, though. This is just the beginning. The cold night air hits my skin as soon as I step outside, but I appreciate the chill. It helps me remember that I am still living, that I haven't fallen yet, and that I will not let them get away with this. When they try to take everything away from me, I'm going to fight back. As I type this answer to Sarah's text message, my fingers are shaking. I'll be there tomorrow, I said. Almost immediately, the answer was I'll bring everything. That's a relief. The smallest bit of comfort comes from what she said, but I know that this fight will not be easy to win. I'm aware that I will have to work harder than I ever have before. I am, however, ready. There's nothing else I can do. I sat at the kitchen table the next morning and stared at the stack of papers in front of me. Documents related to mortgages are being sent. Every piece of paper that proves that this house was mine, every piece of paper that proves that they took it away from me. As an attempt to calm down, I take a deep breath. I have dealt with tough situations before. I know how to deal with stress, loss, and sadness because I worked in the intensive care unit. But this time things are different. This has to do with a personal problem. Little by little, they are taking my life apart, and I will not let them get away with it. Following the process of carefully putting the papers in a box, I leave the room. It's quiet on the way to Sarah's house. The peace in the car is almost too much to bear. There are so many ideas in my head that they are flying around like a storm that won't stop. How did this come to be? How does this deception make you feel? What could have gone wrong for my family to be so mean? On the other hand, I don't have time to think about how much pain I'm feeling right now. I need to keep my mind on the task at hand. It's important for me to be aware. It comes with too many risks. Whenever I get to Sarah's house, she's already there waiting for me at the door. Her face is filled with worry. Are you okay? Her voice is quiet yet strong as she inquires, she asks. I give a nod of my head, but I can sense the immense burden of everything weighing down on me. As soon as we enter her living room, I place the folder on the coffee table that is in front of us. As Sarah's gaze flits around the pages of the paperwork, her brow knits together in a frown. She speaks in a hushed voice, disbelieving what she is saying. This is terrible. They falsified your signature. Emmy, this is an act of fraud. The words hit me like a punch in the stomach, lying to get something of value. I had always known something wasn't right, but hearing it out loud confirmed it. The house wasn't just taken away from me, it was stolen. I am not just a pawn in a game of family betrayal, I am the victim of a criminal offense. I feel angry that is turning into rage, welling up inside me. They thought they would not be punished for their actions because they thought they could take advantage of me and I would just lie down and accept the theft of everything I worked so hard for. But they were wrong. I am not going to let them win. Not now. As I sit down next to Sarah, we start to look at the papers together. When she calls her lawyer friend Michael, I can hear his voice cracking over the loudspeaker. As he looks over the pictures I took of the papers, he says, "This is textbook fraud. The signature doesn't come anywhere near a match. Emmy, you are in a very good spot. This, however, is going to turn into a mess." Though the words are still in the air between us, they are heavy with the truth of the problems I am facing. It's not just my family that's being hurt. This is the system, the court cases, and the fight for what is mine. I am aware, though, that this is the only other option. If I don't fight back now, I'll lose everything. I'm going to get lost in my thoughts. That's not going to happen. Sarah and Michael will work hard over the next few days to gather proof, talk to witnesses, and get ready for what's coming. I keep my mind on the case and pay close attention to the little things. I do not have enough money to let myself get too stressed out. It's important for me to stay strong. It's important for me to keep moving forward. On the other hand, every time I close my eyes, I see Jessica's face, her happy smile, her hands around her stomach as if she owned what is mine. In addition, it feeds the fire that lives inside me. It gives you a reason to fix this mistake. Even though I'm still working my shifts at the hospital, something is different about it now. In the background, the weight of the situation is always there, ready to strike. You can't avoid it. It seeps into every interaction I have, every look I give, and every move I make. Although I've always felt at ease in the intensive care unit, ICU, the hospital now feels like a jail, even with all the clean rooms. There are times when it's hard for me to focus on the patients like I used to. I can't stop thinking about the case, the house, and how I was let down. Then, Michael calls me on the phone one afternoon. A hearing is something that the court is going to proceed with, he adds. Now is the time. This will be tried in court, they say. My heart skips a beat. This is the last draft. This is the moment I've been working toward for a long time. The moment I was scared of. But this is also the time I've been looking forward to. The time has come for me to finally get back what is mine. The days leading up to the trial, which is set to happen the following week, are full of getting ready. There are regular meetings between Michael, Sarah, and me to look over all the proof. I just can't quit, even though it's making me feel bad and hurting my mind. The money I need to quit is not there. This fight is mine, and I will win out in the end. Myself. For the rest of my life. For everything I've lost, I keep my cool on the outside when the day of the trial gets closer, even though my heart is racing. When I walk into court with Michael by my side, I keep my head up. Even though the courtroom seems cold, empty, and strange, I go ahead with my plan. Jessica is sitting in the front row with a cocky grin on her face. You can see her stomach a lot more now. My mom is sitting next to her and wiping her eyes with a tissue to act like the victim. My dad is still sitting next to them and not looking at me. They all look guilty, and they don't seem to be different. However, they will not be able to avoid what will happen because of this. As the judge looks over the papers, I can feel the stress rising in the room as she carefully reads each one. All of the fake documents, agreements, and lies were shown to her. Even though everything is weighing on me, I don't back down. I'm not going to be scared. I promise they won't win. Not right now. Not at all. The trial is still going on, but more and more parts of the truth are coming out. Even though Jessica's lawyer is trying to make things sound better than they really are, I can see that the case is starting to fall apart. There is no doubt about the proof. They stole from me. They turned their backs on me. They will now have to make up for what they did. Slowly but surely, my trust is growing as the day of the trial gets closer. I can't do anything else. I fought for my life, my home, and my future. Right now is the time for me to get back what is mine. The courtroom is dead silent as the judge delivers her final decision. I can feel the weight of the moment being felt in the air. This is the last draft. That's right, this is the exact moment when everything changes. The judge finally says something. She says with firm confidence, Emily Sullivan is the recipient of the property. As I try to figure out what she means, my heart starts to beat faster. That's all there is to it. I'm the winner. I can't believe that, but I know for sure it's true. Although I went through a lot of pain and loss, I found victory in the end. I now own my house again. At that very moment, I am aware that I have changed, and I feel a great sense of peace. That person used me, but I'm not going to let them again. I'm stronger and tougher now. Even though the fight is still going on, it is still a victory. Today I want to battle for myself, my future, and everything I fought for. There is no sound coming from inside the hall. The judge's last words keep playing over and over in my head, as if I were still there, holding my breath while waiting for the decision. The property is awarded to Emily Sullivan. Those words hit me like a tsunami and almost drowned me out. It's finally over. It's finally over, all the years of hard work, suffering, sleepless nights, wounds, and pain. For the time being, I can't move. People in the courtroom around me start to move around, but I stay still and feel numb. It sounds like things are happening far away, even though I can hear people and papers rustling. The only thing I can think about is how heavy this moment is. The disagreement was successfully solved. The house is now back in my hands. But coming out on top doesn't make the pain go away. The feeling of deception in my chest is heavy and won't go away. I try to shake it off when I leave the courtroom, but it follows me like a ghost. The air feels thick and heavy as I walk through the courthouse's halls. The weight of what I just went through is making me feel heavy. It was something I was able to do. In order to protect myself, I fought. But how much does this cost? After everything that has happened, I can't help but wonder what parts of myself are still there. I thought my family would love me no matter what, but they have failed me, which is the worst thing that could happen. No matter how successful I was in court, I can't get rid of the feeling that something inside me has broken. Once I step out into the parking lot, even though the sun is shining brightly above me, it seems like the light isn't being as strong. The weight of all the things I've left behind is too much for me to escape. Even though we won, the loss is still very painful. I fought for my home and my future, and I now have them back. But what will happen to the years of trust one put in them? The love and care I gave my family because I thought they would always be there for me? What should I do next? What do I need to do to start over after everything that has happened? As I drive home, these questions keep going through my mind, and each one seems more important than the last. When I come home, I feel more empty than I ever have before. The walls that are so familiar and the rooms that used to feel like a safe place now look cold and empty. The thing in question is mine, but I don't feel like it is. Unfortunately, the victory doesn't bring peace like I thought it would. As I hold the papers, such as the court records and the payment agreement, I shake my hands while sitting on the couch. I'm the winner. On the other hand, that win has cost me more than I ever thought possible. It's not just about the house anymore. It's about all the things I had to give up to get here. I no longer trust, love, or feel safe around this person at all. I lose my train of thought when I feel my phone vibrate in my pocket. Sarah is the one calling. "Hey Emmy, you made it." She tells him, "I'm so proud of you." These words make my hurt spirit feel better, but they're not enough to fill the whole hole I feel inside. "I wouldn't have been able to do it without you," I say, but my voice gets weak from feeling. Sarah has been by my side the whole way, giving me support in a world that hasn't been kind. But I don't think that being around her all the time makes the pain in my chest go away. The pain is still there, it hasn't gone away, and it makes me think of everything I've left behind. I've been sitting there for hours, and my mind is going 100 miles per hour. What do we need to do now? What's going to happen next? I can't just stay here, stuck in this place with these emotions and the weight of everything that has happened. I know I need to move on. I know that I need to start over with my life in order to put back together the pieces of myself that were broken during this fight. The question is, where should I start? The sound of the buzzer jumps me out of my thought process. As I get up, my heartbeat speeds up in my chest, but I have no idea who could be at my door. When I open the door, I'm surprised to see Tom standing there. If you look at him, you might think he's been through something because his face is pale and his eyes look tired. He says I'm sorry and adds, "It would have been better for me to have done this earlier," before I could say anything. I don't know what to say as I look at him. Because of what happened and what his girlfriend, who is my sister, did, I'm not sure if I can trust him. But there is something in his eyes that tells me he is not out to hurt me. "What do you want?" I ask quietly. I have no idea what was going through Jessica's thought when he says, "I want to be of assistance." His voice is firm and sincere. I saw her fake those papers, and I have no idea what she was thinking. She did that action in front of me. His words resonated with me as though I had been struck in the chest. I cannot live with myself if I am cognizant of the fact that she committed that act. I apologize. I would like to provide testimony. I will speak honestly in court. I will tell them anything and everything. I can't say anything because his words made me feel hopeful, which is something I haven't felt in a long time. I'm not sure if I can forgive him for his part in all of this, but I can't deny that he is offering to help me. He is offering to do what no one else in my family has been willing to do, tell the truth. And maybe, just maybe, this is the first step in letting the wounds that have been festering for such a long time start to heal. I finally utter, "Thank you," in a quiet but steady voice, after a long pause. "Thank you for your testimony." The look on Tom's face is solemn and sad. You are entitled to the truth. You are entitled to reclaim the life that was taken from you. I know that this can't make up for what happened, but I want to make things right. I stand there for a moment after he leaves so that I can fully understand what he said. It's not much, but it's a piece of the puzzle, even if it's only a small one. For the first time in what seems like forever, I feel a glimmer of hope. Maybe this is how I start to rebuild. It's not about the property or things I've lost, it's about the truth. The truth that can heal the wounds, the truth that can set me free. The weeks that follow are a blur. This time, the ongoing legal issues are different from the ones that have happened before. With Tom's testimony and the help of Sarah and Michael, the case starts to move in my favor. I can see the cracks in Jessica's facade as her lies are exposed one by one. She is not the helpless person that she seems to be, she is a criminal, and she will have to pay when she is found guilty. While the trial is going on, all the facts become clear. Jessica's friends and supporters stop supporting her, and those who used to support her start to realize that she has betrayed them badly. My family becomes even more split. My mother starts to miss hearings altogether, sending her lawyer instead. My father, who used to be very sure of his views, is beginning to show signs of doubt. The walls they have built around themselves start to fall apart, and I can see them for what they really are: weak, cowardly, and selfish. Finally, it's over. The house is legally returned to me after the judge makes her final decision. But it's not just the house that's important. It's the cause of justice that I've fought for. It's the fact that I've finally admitted that my family was trying to sell me a lie. That lie has now come to an end, and with that thing comes a new start. When I go back to the house that used to be my prison, it feels different. It feels like it's mine again. The walls now give off a feeling of warmth and comfort, which is very different from how they used to feel when they were empty and cold. I fought for this, and I won. But the house isn't the only thing that matters. What matters is everything I have recovered: the confidence in myself, the ability to keep going, and the courage to move on. This is my life, my victory, and my future. No one, not even my own family, will ever be able to take it away from me again. I sense a change within myself as I stand in the living room, gazing out over the space that I know so well. This is the point at which I begin again. I am reconstructing my life here, inch by inch. I am aware now that I am strong enough to confront whatever comes next, despite the fact that the healing of my injuries will take some time. I am the owner of the house. My future is also up in the air. The process of regaining ownership of that which was rightly mine was never simply a matter of claiming a house. It was about regaining control of my life, my dignity, and my sense of self. I went to war for justice after I had been betrayed by the very people who I had put my faith in the most. This war required me to give all I had: my tenacity, my perseverance, and my determination to fight for that which was rightfully mine. In the end, the legal win mattered less than the truth, the support of the people who really cared, and the realization that I could rebuild my life from the ruins of my past. The road to recovery was long, and the scars that remain from that experience are no longer what define me. Instead, they serve as a reminder that I am stronger than I thought I could be and that I can stay true even if someone betrays me. I have learned that family doesn't have to be blood relatives. It can also be people who are there for you in times of need and who tell you the truth even when it hurts. With each step I take, I am learning to trust others again, to open my heart, and to accept that I am shaping my future. This victory is just the beginning of my journey to success. My future and the house are now mine. Finally, after a long time, I feel free. I can choose my own path in life and make my own decisions without the weight of betrayal holding me back. My past will always be a part of me, but it no longer controls me. I have taken back control of my life and received a renewed sense of hope and direction. And now, as I stand in the hallway of the house that almost killed me, I know for sure one thing: I am no longer a victim. I have made it through hard times, and this is my story, my triumph over the worst time of my life.